Welcome to Listpedia. It's time to count down the top 10 banned video games. Note, the games on this list are banned in specific countries, not every country in the world. The games are ranked according to the seriousness of the ban. Number 10. EA Sports MMA. This is one of the more absurd and fairly humorous entries on the list. EA Sports MMA is a banned fighting game in Denmark. The game features mixed martial arts, the world's fastest growing sport. It's easy to assume that it was banned due to the violence it brings. But no! EA Sports MMA was banned in Denmark because it features energy drinks, mostly on the fighter's shorts. Is that a Red Bull, or are you just happy to see me? Denmark has a law that bans energy drinks. There are likely endorsement deals in place with the energy drinks that prevent them from being removed from the game. Number 9. Homefront. Homefront is a shooter game where the United States is invaded. The country's military is scattered and disorganized, and the country's defense is left to rebel groups that must act on their own to fend off invaders. Kind of like Red Dawn. Such a premise isn't usually seen in shooter games. And the invaders? A unified North and South Korea, with Kim Jong-un as the leader no less. North and South Korea are still technically at war, and it's no secret that they hate each other's guts. So, Homefront gets the ban in South Korea for featuring such an outrageous premise. It's not actually known whether people play video games in North Korea, but it's safe to assume that Homefront will probably get the same treatment over there. Number 8. Wolfenstein. Ever since World War II ended, Germany has made a great effort to shed a bad reputation, and anything to do with the Nazis is a sensitive topic. Wolfenstein is a 2009 shooter game set during World War II which features the Nazis as the enemies. The game was banned from reaching German soil. The Wolfenstein series is actually a popular shooter franchise dating all the way back to 1981. It was only in 2014 that another Wolfenstein game was released in that country, Wolfenstein: The New Order, but the game went through a lot of editing before it was allowed. Number 7. Rise of the Tomb Raider. At least one country won't be able to see the badass adventurer that is Lara Croft. Saudi Arabia is one of the most conservative countries in the world. A notable aspect of their culture is not empowering women, which means women can't feature more prominently than men. Women aren't even allowed to drive in the country. So it's easy to see why Rise of the Tomb Raider was banned in the country for featuring a female protagonist. Bayonetta 2, which also features a female lead, got the same treatment. An official reason for the banning of the game was never given by Saudi Arabia, though. Number 6. Mass Effect. Homosexuality has always been a delicate topic in many parts of the world. So it's not surprising that a game like Mass Effect was initially banned in Singapore for featuring a scene with explicit homosexuality. And it's not even an encounter between two humans. The scene in question features a female human and a feminine alien. The stance wasn't permanent though. The ban was eventually lifted due to the popularity and demand for the game. It was slapped with an M rating instead, and the country has made changes to its game ratings board. It's not every day that a game forces a country to change their rating system. In addition, all games that feature nudity are automatically banned in Singapore. Number 5. God of War series. The God of War series is one of the most popular games that feature extreme violence. The game is set in ancient Greece, so battles are really barbaric. The main character of the series, Kratos, is a hot-tempered warrior whose main goal is to kill the gods of Olympus. The game was slapped with an M rating. The series also features a lot of nudity. There's even a minigame where Kratos must have sex to gain bonuses. And if that wasn't enough, Middle Eastern countries don't like the word God in the title because it's considered blasphemy. Number 4. Bully. Rockstar Games is notorious for being the brains behind the violent and controversial video game series Grand Theft Auto. So, do they try and shed that label? Nah, they make even more violent and more controversial games, of course. That's what they do. Bully is a video game that was banned in Brazil for showing violence inside a school. The violence alone is enough to get an M rating. Add that to a school setting, and it raises a lot of eyebrows. Even if the game's main character has good intentions, taking matters into his own hands isn't the proper way to stop bullying. And what's worse, he gets applauded for using violence to stop bullies. Bully is a game that might scare a few parents. Number 3. All shooter games. This isn't a game, but a whole category of games. Shooter games are the main reason parents blame video games for promoting violence. But it has never been proven that shooter games make people act violently in real life. Venezuela, though, won't be taking any chances. In March 2010, the country became the first in the world to completely ban all games that feature shooting people as the objective. The numerous violent incidents in the country were the main reason the law was put in place. Number 2. Grand Theft Auto series. You knew this game was going to make the list somewhere, right? It's the mother of all controversial games. Grand Theft Auto games are consistently labeled with an M rating for their violence, nudity, sex, and especially their depiction of women. Despite that, the series is one of the most popular video games in the industry. In Thailand, however, that popularity had very grave influence. In 2008, a teenage Grand Theft Auto 4 player killed a taxi driver. The teenager's intention was to rob the driver for money in order to finance his gaming. Since then, the entire series has been on the banned list in the country. And our number 1 banned video game, the Mortal Kombat series. To be victorious in fighter games, you need to beat the living daylights out of your opponent. But Mortal Kombat 10 and the series in general take violence to another level. This has prompted countries like Kuwait, South Korea, and Germany to ban some of the games in the series. The extreme violence comes in the form of finishing moves that characters execute before ending the match. How extreme? Try completely ripping off the head and spine of defeated characters, or rapidly pounding them until flesh and bones are in pieces, or splitting them in half by pulling their legs in opposite directions, or... Okay, you get the idea. The first Mortal Kombat was one of the games that forced the formation of the video games rating board, the ESRB, so it's not surprising that the series tops this list.